بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على رسول الله وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. Welcome to episode 1 of the Salah Series. In this episode we'll take the hadith of Prophet ﷺ, in which he tells us that the first thing that a person will be held accountable for on the Day of Judgment is his prayers. If it is in order, then that person will be successful. The rest of their deeds will be in order. And if their prayer, their salah is corrupt, if it's lacking, then they have lost, and all of their deeds will follow, will not be in order. Again, this hadith shows us the importance that everything we do as Muslims build on the foundation, which is salah, which is our relationship with Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. If our salah is in order, then we can build on top of that. But if our salah is not in order, then anything we try to build on top of that isn't going to sit well if the foundation is shaky itself. Now, the Prophet ﷺ also tells us in these ahadith that anything missing or lacking from our obligatory salah, will be filled from the voluntary prayers. So anything extra that a person does in terms of prayer, any voluntary prayers, any of the sunan, anything extra beyond the 5 obligatory prayers, those are very important. On one hand, they're not obligatory themselves, but on the other hand, so they're optional. A person can do them if they want. If they don't have to do them. But on the other hand, knowing that we will fall short, because as human beings we always fall short. So any gaps, anything that is lacking from our obligatory salah will be filled from our voluntary salah. So the wise person would have a lot of voluntary salah. First, try your best to perfect your obligatory salah. And next, try your best to do as much voluntary salah as you can to fill those gaps when you do fall short. And the Prophet ﷺ tells us, and that's what will be done with all of the obligatory acts of worship. Same thing with, for example, with siyam, and other acts of worship that are obligatory, fasting in Ramadan. The voluntary fasts that a person does would fill any gaps, any shortcomings in those obligatory acts of worship. And it's important to note, the Prophet ﷺ in another narration, he said, the first thing that a person will be held accountable for is salah. And the first thing that will be settled amongst the people, between the people on the Day of Judgment, is in matters of blood, meaning in bloodshed. Meaning when someone has harmed or killed someone else, those are the first matters that will be settled between the people. Whereas the first of personal matters that will be people will be held accountable for, just between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, is the salah. So that this is important to note, so that people understand that when we talk about the first thing that people will be held accountable for is salah, it is pertaining to personal matters between them and Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. As for matters between the people, then the first thing that people will be brought to account for is bloodshed, because of the seriousness of it. When someone kills another person unjustly, when someone kills another innocent person unjustly, they have no right to do so, and they've taken a life, then they're going to be held accountable for that on the Day of Judgment. And this shows the severity of it, the seriousness of it, because they had no right to do so. So how are they taking a life away? And they can't fix that, as we've discussed before. That's not something that people are able to fix. When someone kills an innocent person in the dunya, they can't bring them back to life. Even if they repent, even if they regret what they have done, even if they want to change, they can't change it. If someone takes something that's not theirs, they can give it back. Or someone destroys, an object, a car, a house, whatever, or steal something, they can try to fix it, right? At the end of the day, it's just some materialistic thing. They could try to fix it, they could try to give it back, but when it comes to taking away life, they can't give it back. There's no way around. There's no way back. So people will be held accountable for that on the Day of Judgment. The first thing that will be settled between the people. بارك الله فيكم جزاكم الله خيرا والسلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته.